There we go. What's up? What's up? So we don't have that glare. I'm just using natural light, and yeah, that's better. I got Spider up front getting some water. I got Spider up front getting some water so I can pull that closed. As you see, I have my doors open. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, I got my doors open. That's why it's so bright right there. What's good, good, good? So, this is, a random live because I just want to chat with y'all. I just want to chat with the chat for a minute. Um, so this is around the time when I start calling it the next year, right? Because we halfway through this year, so y'all will start hearing me refer to it as 2025 because it's gonna be 2025 before we know it. Before we know it, it's gonna be Happy New Year, yada yada yada. So I start preparing for it 6 months ahead of time. So what's good? What's good? What's good? Happy Sunday! Happy Sunday! Happy first day of the week. So first things first, I Londa am preparing myself to launch my Twitch stream 2025. It's something that I have been debating about for honestly about 3 or 4 months now. I've been debating on it. So I just made my decision and then started doing some research on it. So yeah, yeah, that's something I really want to do. And now I think I figured out my angle. I think I figured out what my stream will be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited for that. So it's not going to like it's not gonna take away or even compete with my YouTube channel. I actually think it will enhance my YouTube channel. Like from but anyway, it's gonna be a minute because I do have to get some things set up. So um my focus is still on my income, my journals, promoting my journals and getting more sales. I'm up to I think 5 or 6 sales with my journals. So if you're not up on it, make sure you tap in, check Amazon for my journals. I have my publisher, my author. My author copies are on the way. Once I receive my author copies, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on that because it will be for subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed. I'll be doing a giveaway, one of the gratitude journal and one for the ideas journal. So I'm excited about that. I also finally finished, which I started about a month after I started the gratitude journal. I created a journal for hair colorists. So for those who may not know, um, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I don't currently work behind the chair anymore, but I was a colorist. So I created a color logbook for colorists, and I think it's super dope. I love it. I absolutely love it. I did as I was creating it. I I sent some of the images that I was working on to one of my girlfriends who I was in cosmetology school with, who still works behind the chair, and she is a colorist herself. So um, she gave me a little bit of tidbits of what to change, different things to replace. Because again, I haven't been behind the chair in quite a few years. So yeah, it's done. It's finished. My author copy of that is also on the way. I purchased that. That's on the way as well. And I think I mentioned this in the Friday Night Live. But my plan for that is to go around local salons and to take orders and sell that locally. Take orders for that one in person. So yeah. So right now, besides all of that, and still the next physical book I'll be working on is, as you guys know, the blood type meal plan, and that will be a full book. And if you haven't already emailed me to receive your free um, ebook, which is essentially just a PDF file, if you haven't emailed me to receive your free blood type ebook of the foods that you should be avoiding for your blood type, make sure you email me. The link is all in my the link to email me is in my description, is in on my YouTube homepage. So that'll take you right to my email. Just include your blood type and your full name, your first and last name and your blood type. So that way I can send you the blood type ebook for the foods to avoid. So if you haven't already, make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. That will come in handy for you, especially just ain't no especially for anybody. Just do that. And so that is the prelude to the meal plan book that I will be creating, which again is going to be a physical book sold on Amazon. So again, make sure you get the blood type ebook, foods to avoid for your blood type, and that is free. You just need to email me, let me know your blood type, and then I will get that right back to you. So that's what I'll be doing in the meantime, in between time, while I'm still promoting my journals. And at the same time, I'm still going to be learning and watching and following other Twitch streamers so that I can get the hang of it. And also, if anybody watched this on replay um, that already streams on Twitch, let me know. Leave me your Twitch name or handle or whatever it's called, you so that I can follow you on there. Just so again I can get the hang of how it works. So yeah, um, that's what I got going on. That's what I got going on. Just starting to work my plan for 2025. I already have my account set up. I already started working on some of my artwork and things like that. But again, this is a 2025 launch. This is not something that I'm going to be launching in 2024 at all. Um, yeah, so it's not a current thing. But let me share my idea of what my streams will be. So, for those who know that I crochet. I'm a freehand crocheter. So I don't write patterns and I don't work from patterns. I have started off from a pattern before, but because I'm freehand, I never finish with a pattern at all. If there's an interesting start to something, I may do that, but I freehand all of my crochet. And with that, I usually have like a bunch of start overs, but something about me likes taking out all that I've done and starting over. I don't know. I just, maybe I like the way it sounds when I'm unraveling the yarn, or like the way it feels through my fingers. I don't know, but it's a part of the process that I enjoy. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all, because I'd rather have something that I'm fully comfortable with than to just accept something that I'm not comfortable with just for the sake of, just because it's like, damn, I got the whole front panel of this jacket done or almost done. No, I'll take it all out. Even if I've switched yarns and I don't care. It doesn't matter what it is. So anyway, that's just a part of my process of how I crochet. So my channel is going to be, my stream is going to be my freehand crochet designs and music. So I did, and I am still learning how to, like, how to set up everything to be able to stream the music without getting a copyright strike while I'm streaming, and also to have the music not saved to the VOD after the stream has ended. So I've seen some videos on that. Like I say, this the rest of this year is going to be my research and my learning and my figuring it out, and also using my income to get some things that I need for my stream. But that's what it's going to be. To just say it sounds boring. Um but it's all action, so I can't really elaborate, but my I feel like it'll give me an outlet to have my full personality on display. And of course, I'll be inside of Le Chateau. And I'm also trying to think about something quirky that I can add to it. Um, but I don't know. I don't like gimmicks, right? I don't like gimmicks. I'm not a gimmicky type of person. But just the crochet and the music and me just crocheting and talking shit, pretty much. And sharing some music that I really like and that I like crocheting to. Like, I'm a big hip hop head. I also love all things Prince, every single thing Prince, from the beginning to the end, all things Prince. So it will be a big category. Since I was also a friend, it'll be like, when it comes to the Prince music, I'll be sharing some stuff that people probably, unless you are a diehard Prince head, probably don't even know or haven't heard or just don't know about. You know what I mean? And also definitely some Tech Nine. I am a technician. Tech Nine. I am a technician for life. So anyway, that's my idea. That's my idea. Crochet, freehand crochet designs, and music. Um, but not as boring as that probably sounds. Not at all. Not at all. Because even my crochet designs are not your grandmother's crochet. No, baby, they're not. They are not your granny's crochet. You hear me? So yeah, I like that. And then in my mind, it'll be an opportunity for me to just be free, right? Because it won't. I can't say what it won't. It's gonna be organic, but it'll give me an outlet to just engage and be free and be in the moment, in the real time moment, instead of doing all this. And I think this is why I have a hard time with really bringing my personality to my recorded videos, because I know that I'm just recording. And then when the recording's done, and then I have to edit it and do all this and all that. And sometimes my recorded videos are recorded over a couple of days, and it's just not real time. I love real time. I like real time, and I like things real time. When I first started in Hotel Honda, I would record my little simple little videos, and even in my description, I was like, my videos are going to be raw and uncut and unedited, and they were just very simple, and I would just upload it right then and there. It was nothing fancy at all. But this was back in 2017, when I think things like that was a bit more acceptable. I don't know how acceptable that would be now, because when I see some channels that are like that, um, it's just, I just don't know how acceptable that would be, and I don't know. Um, it's like I've done that because that's where I was at the moment. Anyway, I don't know. Where I'm at now, I'm trying to figure out how to get my personality onto my recorded videos, because I'm not doing anything. And that's another thing that I just like that real time engagement. I like that. That's just my type of vibe. I don't like the smoke and mirrors, and I don't like all that. I don't mind watching it. It's just difficult for me to do it. You know what I mean? It is difficult. It has been difficult for me to pull that off. And yeah, so, And that's probably why I do my live videos the way I do. Like I don't when I do a live, I'm not like, okay, well let me wait for some people to come in. No, I'm just gonna come in because when I do a live, I have something I want to say anyway. So I just do it and people can just watch it like it's a recorded video when it's done. Anyway, I'm not about that. Let me wait for some people to get in and you know, I don't let my ego control any parts of me. So I want to discuss something. I'm going to come on here and discuss it. And when I'm done, I'm done. I'm going to end it. And then people can watch the replay. Whoever do, do. Whoever don't, don't. It's the same with my recorded videos, you know? And another thing that I've been noticing, except for like the tour videos, but how many times can I tour Le Chateau? How many times can I tour this van? I mean, for real, how many times can I tour this van? Of course, when I go and get my bed redone, all of that will be recorded. Of course, when I do my solar panels, things like that, like when I rearrange, of course, all of these things are going to get recorded. What's up, Quan? But from a day to day to day to day basis, how damn much can I do? You know what I mean? But what I'm noticing is that my live videos in the replay, my live videos get more views than my recorded videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't that something? But again, from one thing I know about me is I like that real time engagement. I like that. So I feel very confident that I will do great on Twitch. I feel very confident about that, and I really like my concept. I like the I'm still playing with concepts, but I do like that first concept because it's an action that I can't put words to. To try and put words to it is just I feel gonna make it sound more boring because it's gonna be about the engagement. It's gonna be about me, and how I'm doing what I'm doing and things like that, not necessarily about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it'll be that real time engagement. So, I've just been learning about how Twitch works as far as um, whether you want to start off full time, part time, and post in a schedule or just different things like that. So, I see people do subathons to where they'll stream for however many hours and maybe their goal is however many subs or just different things like that, you know. And as we, I'm sure, all have seen watching YouTube videos, you'll see YouTube videos, but they're from people's Twitch streams. You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean when I say I think it'll enhance my YouTube channel because I'll be um I'll be sharing portions of my stream over here as well. You know what I mean? And then I've had several people since starting this channel ask me about my crochet and different things like that. So that's where I'll be doing it. And, it'll be streaming. I just think it'll enhance the channel, especially since I don't travel and I'm not moving around and I'm not at this different place and that different place for right now anyway. So, yeah. 2025, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, this is what I always do. I always, at the 6th month, in the middle of the month, um, middle of the second quarter, I start preparing for 2025. I start even referring to it as it's the next year already. So I remember on the Mercedes Mansion Instagram page, I think it was 2022, and I was saying 2023, and people would comment. I'm like, look, see, that's why we be so late on shit. You know what I mean? Like you have to be thinking ahead. Even in fashion design, the collections are done 8 months in advance. When I was in fashion design school, that's what we learned. You're not working on the spring summer 2025 collection and like that collection is worked on and done 8 months before and released 8 months ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to start thinking and planning forward, planning ahead of time, not just tomorrow, but at the very minimum, start planning in quarters. You know what I mean? Like, what is your plan for the next 3 months from now? What do you want to have done or be doing in 6 months from now? And then just grow it out from there. What do you want to be doing in a year, in 5 years? And that's where I think a lot of us have gone wrong. We're not thinking beyond shit tonight, for real. Why does this thing keep going off? Early is on time and on time is late. And when it comes to life planning and business and things like that, you got to think in quarters and in years and in decades. For real, for real. For real, for real. It's even deeper than that. You got to think in big chunks. So, for real. Because that's really what's going to move the needle forward. That's really, it's June right now. So, I'm already like, this is, so I have to start now. Like, I've already started with the artwork. It's already on my channel. The channel is already created. You know what I mean? All this is already done. I've already started the foundation, because if I want to launch this thing, and I remember telling my daughter this, I said, it's not the things that you do at 29 that's going to affect your life when you turn 30. I think she was 21 at the time. I said, it's the decisions you're making right now. It was somewhere between 17 and 21. And it's just like, when I was 20, the reason why I cleaned up my diet is because I said, I don't want to have them problems when I turn 40. I don't want to look like my aunts when I turn 40. And although I didn't have any problems, didn't look anything like that, was fit, was athletic, was in shape at 20, that's when I changed my eating lifestyle at 20. And I already showed y'all what I looked like at 40, but I made that decision 20 years prior. And that's exactly what I told my daughter. It's not the fuck ups you make at 29 that you're going to pay for at 30. It's the fuck ups that you're making right now that you are going to pay for in 9 years, in 10 years. That's when you're going to pay for them. So, that's just how it is, and that's just how it is. So, yes, I'm already preparing for 2025, because it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. So a lot of my time will, from here on out, be spent, like I say, along with promoting my journals, going around to salons true, uh-huh, once I get all of my, once I get all of the physical copies, and once I get the physical copies, let me pause right quick. Once I do get the physical copies of my journals, um, that is when I will announce and go over what the giveaway is going to be. So, yeah, they're due to arrive between July 1st and the middle of July, July 1st and the 19th. The ideas journal is the one that's going to take the longest because it's a hardcover. So, once I have them both in hand is when I will announce what the giveaway will be, all the details of the giveaway, and different things like that. So just from now to then, just make sure you subscribe, turn on all your notifications, and yeah, all the normal stuff. So it's still going to be the same. And you know what else? I like having a lot of things on my plate. People that have been following me on Instagram from the Mercedes Mansion page are still like, you always have a lot going on. I like that. I always have. I've always been like that because I have a lot of energy. So I like to have a lot of things going on. And I have a lot of ideas. I always have ideas. And not all of them do I execute on, but the ones that I execute on, I execute on. So I get bored easily, so I like to have a lot of things to do, you know? And it's not in the sense of multitasking, because one thing I've learned from watching so many multimillionaires and billionaires is uh, they all made their money in one area, and once they grew that thing to self sufficiency, to where that thing is making money, making money, making money, making money, making money, then they can use some of the profits from that and venture off into other things. Even this motherfucker never sits down. He walks back and forth 100 times, sounding like a dog on a leash. Anyway, it's so annoying to me. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? What's his name? Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, he didn't start doing anything else until after Amazon.com was the giant that it is now. You know what I mean? So that's when he stepped down as CEO and hired a CEO. And once he did that, it's like, boom, now I'm about to start doing other things. And again, I'm happy to report that my Amazon shares are doing well. I just increased my position with Amazon. So my goal for that, let me tell y'all too, because I do invest. My goal for that is by this time next year. So but I said this a few days ago. But anyway, by June 2025, I want to have 20 shares of Amazon stock. So I got five right now. I got 5 shares of Amazon right now that like are so much more increased from where I got in at. But I want to have 20 shares by this time next year. So I'm always increasing my position in Amazon. Um, and going forward, I will be increasing my position more. And what I'm gonna do is get a schedule. I'm gonna work out a schedule of how many shares I'm going to increase and when to hit my goal. Because I need to have, like, I have a target. Now I need to know how I'm going to get there. I need to know, okay, if by June 2025 I say I want 20 shares and I have this many shares now, how many shares do I need to buy and how often do I need to buy those shares in order to hit that goal? So that's going to be the next thing that I work out. But for right now, I have the goal of I want 20 shares by 2025. Ultimately, I want to have 100 shares of Amazon, ultimately. And I want to have those 100 shares at least by the time I'm 60. Okay, so I'll be 50 in October, middle of October. So I'll have 10 years to get those shares. So that's my ultimate goal when it comes to my Amazon investment. But anyway, yeah. So 2025, your girl is going to launch her Twitch stream, and I'm really excited about it. So I hope y'all are working on whatever your goals are for 2025 right now. I hope you're already um, have some sort of um, investment going on, or investment ideas, or money that you're putting away to invest or to buy income producing assets. Um, because saving money for the sake of saving money is stupid. This is paper. It's just paper. It's not it's not on the gold standard. It's just paper. It's just, and the value of this paper decreases every with every breath you take. The value of the US dollar depreciates. So I hope y'all are not just saving money just for the sake of saving money. And if you don't know what depreciation and inflation really means, all you have to do is think about what you could do, what you could buy with $100 last year versus what you can buy with $100 this year. And if you want to test it going forward, all right, take however much when you go to a necessity type, like when you go grocery shopping, hold on to that receipt. And then in 6 months from now or a year from now, keep track of that and go try and spend the same exact amount or buy the same exact things. And that will let you know what depreciation of the dollar means and inflation really means. And the fact that they just print out these papers like any other paper, so money, cash is to be invested in something that can be multiplied. You can even you can even take that cash and go and buy silver, go and buy gold, actual the bullion, actual gold. You can go to any gold shop or silver shop or even pawn shop. Some pawn shops sell gold. Or if you don't want to buy gold that you just put away, start investing in gold, 14 and 24 karat gold, not gold plated. If you can get solid gold, not gold plated, don't buy gold plated, but buy solid gold and start with whatever small you can buy and get at the minimum 3/9 silver or 4/9 silver, the 999. Yeah. So just have real currency, you know what I mean? Because that's real currency. That is real currency. Gold and silver are real currency. Titanium, like this is real currency. And when they took the dollar off the gold standard, it was for the purpose of being able to just print it and then buy everything on debt. Just buy everything with debt because the U.S. ran out of gold or went low on gold back with the depression. Like honestly, if you know the history and the financial history, the United States of America is broke. The United States of America is broke. I mean, broke. I'm not just saying it. This ain't just some black woman talking. The United States of America is broke. That's why they utilize the money and the influence and the power from these multi-millionaire and billionaire entrepreneurs. Because, for one, this country was built on entrepreneurship. So, it would behoove you to use that money to buy assets, income producing assets, or to invest in some of these companies that are doing well. Like that's why I invested in Amazon. I also have shares of Apple. And I wouldn't own an Apple phone. I wouldn't own any Apple product for several reasons, but I have shares of Apple stock that have also doubled, you know. Um I'm not going to pay for Amazon Prime membership. At one point I did. It's been over 2 years since I was like, why the fuck am I doing that? I used to shop on eBay before. Like, I'm not going to pay you to shop on here. And I really had it for my the reason I had it was for my Audible because I'm a reader. But since I've worn glasses my entire life. I was that cute little toddler with glasses. I've always worn glasses. Pre-K, 3 years old, right? So as I've gotten older, being someone who has always worn glasses, I didn't need age to diminish my sight, right? So I've transitioned to audiobooks. So I used to have an Audible account, and that's why I had Amazon Prime. So once I decided that, I'm just gonna risk this, there's free audiobooks on YouTube. I'm not gonna pay you to shop on this site. This is just stupid to me. I let go of my Amazon Prime, and it's actually been 4 years because I started investing in 2020. Um, no, 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 no. When did I get my first Amazon shares? I started investing in 2020. I don't know when I got my first Amazon shares, but anyway, um, yeah. So I don't pay to shop on Amazon, but I do, like, my books are on there. Um, I have 5 shares of stock in Amazon that are doing extremely well. But get with some of these companies. I wouldn't recommend, even if you wear Nikes, I would not recommend to invest in Nike. Um, right now, uh, their stocks are down and going down. Um, yeah, I wouldn't mess with Nike right now. I mean, it's not a bad company at all, but just I wouldn't invest with them. I would invest in There's also a utilities company that I invest in. I have quite a few shares of their stock as well. I actually recently sold a couple of shares, which was what they call taking profits. So I took some profits from the electric company that I'm invested in and bought another share of Amazon. So that's how I do that sometimes. Good areas, just in my opinion. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is more of what I do, what I actively am currently doing. Um, Utility companies, because this is something that we're always going to need. There's always going to be utilities companies, electric companies, gas. These are utilities that are not ever going anywhere, and people are always going to need. That's a good one. Um, I also Tech is a great one. Tech is only going to get more advanced. So, investing in good tech companies, reputable tech companies, is a smart idea. Um, I, as a beginner, me personally, I think I still have two REITs that I'm invested in. A REIT, REIT, is Real Estate Investment Trust. I think I still have two that I'm invested, very, very minor shares in. Um, and I'm just holding, I'm just holding those. But they've actually lost money. Uh, but I didn't have a whole lot invested. But they've lost. They're on the decline. But real estate now, when it comes to saving money, like saving your cash and real estate, I think for me, what my goal is to actually get into physical real estate in the real world versus investing in real estate online, on the stock market. I would rather invest in real estate in real life instead of on the stock market, right? I like investing in companies that have done extremely well, that have very savvy um, founders and CEOs. I like investing in those companies. Like I said, Amazon, Apple. I like investing in those companies in the stock market. But when it comes to real time, like, I like the physical aspect of gold and silver because you have that in your possession. And the gold and silver spot price, like, that's the price. You know what I mean? Silver spot price, gold spot price, that's the price of it. So where you buy it, they may have their little, percentage on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Like silver, last I checked was yesterday. And the last I checked, silver spot was $29.45 per ounce. So depending on where you go, let's say you're gonna pay $32 per ounce, but that's their fee. But the spot price is the price. The price is the price. You know what I'm saying? And then you just pay whatever over spot the company you getting it from. But real assets, or creating something that you can put into the marketplace. You can go on Alibaba.com, set up an account, and you can purchase and just look at things that you want to brand and create a brand and put your name on, that you can I'm not saying drop shipping because I never did drop shipping. I ordered in bulk and I was out on the street selling like with my lashes. I created my box, my package. I went through different, I tested actually. I didn't just go with the, because I knew what I was looking for. Again, I was a professional makeup artist and I worked with lashes, putting lashes on and off models. I never wore any myself except for with my brand, especially since I don't have my glasses right now. I took the opportunity, so I would wear them to what is it called? Promote my lashes. But I went through I think three different companies of ordering samples, until I found the one that I was like, "Oh, this is the quality." And they were beautiful. My lashes were beautiful. They sold out really quick, and this was right when the world shut down. So I wasn't able to reorder because the world was shut down. So and my manufacturer was in China, but you can get on Alibaba. It's definitely, all I'm saying is it's better for us to put our money to work and to put it to work on things that are going to produce more money, and then put those profits back into it and order more, you know what I mean? And just to do your best to keep growing from there and to become a producer instead of a consumer. Become an investor instead of just a buyer. You know what I mean? And then use some of these when I was in the mansion and I was showing everybody in real time how I was building my credit, because I never had credit cards or anything like that before. My mom told me to stay away from it, and I did. And I as I've gotten older, I thought that was horrible advice. I think the better advice would have been learn about credit. I don't know anything about it, so I can't tell you about it. Learn about it. I think that would have been her better advice. Nevertheless, it wasn't bad that I never had credit. It wasn't bad because I had spent 2 years learning about it before I even decided to mess around with it and play with it. And when I did, I was showing in real time. Like in real time, I cut up my bank debit card. I called my bank, told them to disconnect it from my account. I don't need it and I'm not using it. I still don't have a bank debit card. My only debit card is my Visa Cash App, and that's Cash App. You know what I'm saying? And I will never have a bank debit card ever again. Like I'm never just going to just spend my money. But my mindset changed to any dollar I spend, I want to get at least 15 or 20 cents back from it. So that meant I used different apps when I bought gas. I'm whatever club, you know, anywhere I went, I had a club, no matter what it was. I used different apps to get cash back when I get gas, everything. Like I was like, I'm not going to just spend this money and just get a receipt back. No, I need some cash back. If I spend $1, I need to get 15 cents back, 12 cents back, 35 cents back. Like that's my mindset. That's my mindset. Just getting a receipt is ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy. And the value of this is just paper. This is just paper. No, no. So for me to get the best benefit, because it is just paper, right? Like essentially, I'm getting real things and really aren't paying for it because this is just paper. You know what I'm saying? These dollar bills are just paper. But if I give you that paper, you're going to give me this. And this is the actual something that I can use and that I need. Okay. So I need to be smart about how I'm spending this paper. And I need to be smart about where I'm putting this paper, where it's going to grow. Because the savings account ain't going to do shit. Savings account, what you getting back on the savings account is ridiculous because you're not getting anything back. But then they're using whatever money you got in your bank account to make big investments. You know what I'm saying? Fractional reserve banking. They're able to use that. No, no, no. I'm going to use my own money to invest. You know, so even in my IRA account, my retirement account, That mother sucker is growing, baby. Is growing more than a bank would ever do for me. You know? So US bonds. I got some US Treasury bonds, you know what I'm saying? So that's just it. That's just it. So 2025, I hope everyone is really being smart about their life, their finances, their future, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And it's really about delayed gratitude. You know, that instant pleasure, that instant gratification is what's keeping people broke and not being willing to sacrifice, not being willing to live at their true means and then below it. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have, if you don't have, I'm just throwing a number out there. If you don't have $500 right now that you can just go out and blow on whatever, whatever, it don't, it, on whatever. If you don't have $500 that shouldn't legitimately and responsibly go somewhere else that you can just go and spend without missing that money. Like you won't even miss it. You can donate it. You can go on a shopping, $500 shopping spree. You can go and eat it and shit it out. You know, you can literally do whatever with it, whatever you want. You know what I mean? Then you don't have it. If you don't have it like that, you don't have it. So that means if you have it and you would miss it, then you need to invest it. You need to figure out how you can multiply it and then multiply it again. And what part of your lifestyle or daily living or daily habits are you willing to sacrifice for the future you? You know what I mean? Because you already know what good food tastes like, or whatever your favorite type of clothing is. You already know what these things taste like, feel like. You already know that. But do you know what it feels like to be secure in your future finances? Do you know what that feels like? To be secure in your future finances to where you can comfortably make a plan for yourself on what you're going to do. Because, okay, my right now finances are not where I want them to be, but my future finances, because I'm constantly setting that up and thinking about that and investing into that. But right now, my focus is always on what can I do to create more cash flow and to put things into the marketplace that I don't have to consistently work on. Like once my journals really catch off, and it may be small, you know what I'm saying? But I don't ever have to write them again. And then I can get to where I can take them off Amazon and go to somewhere where it'll be cheaper for me, where my profit margin will be bigger. You know what I mean? Publish them myself, go to a printing company. You know what I mean? The options are endless. The options are endless. But for right now, I don't have to write them again. They're already done. I got the files. It's already done. I don't have to do it again. I can just send my PDF files to a different printer where I'm going to have a bigger margin and do it like that. You see what I'm saying? Utilize these manufacturers that are on Alibaba, and they're not all in China. There are even some local ones. It's just you're going to get your best profit margins by utilizing a manufacturer overseas, right? You're going to get better profit margins. But I've seen I've seen manufacturers right here in the US. right on the East Coast. You know what I mean? I've seen a black woman, a black female manufacturer that was on there. Her product was like $3 more. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a product that I was getting. I was just doing research, and this was years ago. I've been on Alibaba for years, but this was years ago. But I was like, wow, that's dope. That's dope. But you can get on Alibaba. They're looking for people to brand, people that have ideas, people that want to be producers, that want to be sellers and not just buyers. So you can get on there for anything, luggage. And usually it comes from some sort of necessity. You know what I mean? Some sort of necessity. Say you travel a lot. Um and every time you go to pack your suitcase, you're like, man, if only this had this or that had that, or just whatever the case may be. I'm just saying there's everything. So these this is something better to do with your money than to just spend it and get a receipt. And shit, some people don't even get a damn receipt. Would you like a receipt? No, I don't need it. Some people don't even get a damn receipt. So you just spending it, and that's just it. You just getting the item you pay for. So yeah, I wish everybody success, financial literacy, financial responsibility for 2025, being savvy about how you think about money and how you view money and how you look at money. And this isn't religious at all. I'm not into man-made religion, but every scripture, every book, even no matter what you think about it, even no matter what you think about it, but in the Bible, God speaks, or the Bible speaks very fondly and tells us very passionately about the riches and the rich people, and how not in a braggadocious way, but just to let us know. And then every all of the goodness of God and God's grace is bound in wealth and riches. But see, we just want to focus on all the rich man can't get into heaven. Look, we have been whipped into misinformation. King Solomon was the richest, and he was God's chosen. Moses, Jesus was not poor. You know what I'm saying? He was not poor. He was not. You think a poor man can tell other people to leave their profession and come and follow me? Maybe some poor minded, even right now today, even one broke motherfucker is not gonna go follow another broke motherfucker and say, look, don't go to work today. Come hang out and do broke people shit with me today. That's not going down. That's not going down. Okay? So we have to rethink our idea of money and how we think about money and how we feel about it and our relationship with it and to it, and be willing to make sacrifices right now in the present while we set up our future, while we set up our future finances, while we learn how to become producers instead of being mad at the wealthy. We don't pay attention to when we see them pictures of Jeff Bezos when he was ugly as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? A chunky little dude with the Amazon.com sign sitting at the little we don't think about that. Or when we see that old video of him doing an interview back in the early 90s in his Honda, when old boy was like, you're a billionaire. He's been a billionaire. He's been a billionaire. And he was like, and even when the interviewer said it, you see it made him uncomfortable because white folks don't like talking about their money like that. And this is a televised interview. You know what I'm saying? They riding him in his little Honda Accord. He didn't say nothing. And then old boy went on past to get to the point. Why are you still driving in this Honda? And he laughed, his goofy ass laugh. It's a good car. Even Zuckfuck even said after he was already very wealthy from Facebook, he was still living in his motherfucking studio, 1 bedroom apartment, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? We have to rethink our whole relationship because we need to be willing to sacrifice our right now. Like I've said before, when I decided to become a mobile dweller in 2017, one of the things I said to myself was, this is perfect because I know my income is about to be rocky as fuck because I'm going to figure out how to be an entrepreneur and not just self employed. I know how to buy myself a job. I need to know how to turn it into a business. And this is going to be a long, rocky road. And my income is not going to be stable, but I don't have anybody to impress. And I don't give a shit what people say about me. So, this, not having the overhead of rent, I was like, this is perfect for me. This is perfect. Perfect. So, we need to rethink that, and we need to not be so mad at the wealthy because we forget that these same goofy looking people are the ones that started. They're the ones that started these things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when he was just goofy looking, hair full of hair, you know, fat face Jeff Bezos that started Amazon.com, that laid out his whole blueprint, that people even thought he was crazy about because the internet was so new in the early 90s. It was fresh as far as getting it out to the public. This college student, the list goes on. Everybody, even Fubu starting in his mama's basement, Damon John putting the same t-shirt on different people just to take a picture so he can get it out there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody started from the real bottom, not Aubrey Graham's bottom at the middle of fucking upper class. No, a good 99.9% of the ones that I've studied and those that I've watched their stories started from the bottom, baby, the bottom, the bottom. Honda, poor, poor family. You know what I mean? Lamborghini, poor, poor farmer family. And Lamborghini started off as a tractor company. You know what I mean? All they started from nothing, literally nothing. Some of them from orphanages. Both parents died when they was young. I mean, some of the stories, it's unbelievable. They didn't have any handouts. We like to make excuses, trust fund, this and that. Most of these multimillionaire company owners and billionaire company owners started from piss poor nothing and had umpteen failures in these companies that we know before they got to where they are now. Umpteen failures. Umpteen failures. Companies had to close down several times, hit rock bottom multiple times. And the only thing is, you just have to believe in yourself enough to say, there's nothing. Like I had to tell my ex husband and everybody else, I'm unbreakable. I cannot be broken. I cannot be broken. But that's what I know about me. I know I'm unbreakable. I know I'm not going to settle to just go and fill out somebody's job application. I'm not going to do that. I don't care how long it takes me. I'm not going to do that because I believe in me and I have so much in me. I'm a producer, I'm an entrepreneur. That's who I am. I like executing on my ideas. You know what I mean? Now, once I figure out how to put together a team, once I figure out how to delegate and who to delegate to and the right people, that's all. It's only going to take that one. You know what I mean? But I am an entrepreneur. That's who I am, and that's what I know that I am. I'm not I'm not the operator. I know how to do these things, But that's not what I get off on. I don't get off on crocheting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. I don't get off on none of that shit. I get off on having the idea, being able to elaborate on that idea, being able to expand on it, seeing where it can go, and executing on it to the best of my ability. And then even hitting the wall of I can't do this by myself, because you can't do it by yourself. All these entrepreneurs, none of them were able to do anything by themselves. You know what I mean? Except for just build the thing or get it started. And that's all I've ever been able to do. You know what I mean? You have to have a team and be able to execute. But anybody can get on Alibaba. Anybody can brand something. And this is why the people who produce, the people who employ, the people who put something into the marketplace gets the biggest tax breaks and tax write-offs and tax benefits and tax credits, because they're the ones who are creating, producing, putting out into the marketplace. So they should. And again, this is America. This country was built on entrepreneurship and war. We know this. We know this. Entrepreneurship and war. We know this. When you take when you when you take the emotion out of it, of slavery, and you look at what was happening, what were they using the people that they enslaved? What were they using them to do? Right? It was free labor for the entrepreneurs to execute their ideas and build. Even when you get out of take us out of it. You know what I mean? When you look at even Henry Ford and uh what's the other motherfucker's name? Just people like that, right? And their manufacturing companies. They had people working building these cars, not getting paid for their actual labor, like not getting paid for what they were doing. They were getting paid well beneath, and being worked way more. You know what I mean? Because the entrepreneur is just thinking about how can I increase my profit, right? Especially the shady ones. But what I'm saying is we can't be upset and mad talking about tax the rich and just having this sour relationship to money, because we all have the same opportunities. No one is going to stop or prevent you from uh, creating a business. From at the very start, step one, let's start here. Step one, no one is going to interrupt you, stop you, or hinder you from going on Alibaba.com, looking for a product, creating an account, setting up an account, ordering, you know, asking questions, asking questions of these manufacturers. What's your MOQ, minimum order quantity? No one's going to prevent you. They don't give a shit that you're black, white, short, fat, tall, female, male, confused. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care. They're looking for you. They're looking for people like you that have an idea and want to brand this product that they're making. Oh, you want to expand on it? Oh, okay, you want to really customize it? Oh, you have your own idea with your own drawing, your own sketch. You just need somebody to make it. You need a manufacturer to produce it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, any and everything, ink pens, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But no one's going to stop you. No one's going to say, oh, you're black. You can't do that. Nobody's doing that. They wasn't doing it to our ancestors. Like I say all the time, from Juneteenth 1865 to uh fucking July something 1920, our ancestors had amassed billions of dollars worth of wealth and hundreds of acres of land. And back then, they were able to establish legitimate businesses back then. So who the fuck is stopping you now? Who's stopping you now when they didn't stop them then? Registered businesses, actual brick and mortar businesses back then. So who's stopping you today? If nobody stopped them from registering businesses, from getting them registered. So we have to change our relationship to money and change it from being consumers. Change it from thinking money is just to be spent and shit out, because it isn't. This paper is to be like, we have an advantage. It's not even on the gold standard. And that's what's really fucked up, because back then their wealth was really wealth. And we as their offspring didn't even have the guts or the strength to stand strong together to preserve it. We allowed, out of our own fear and softness and punk assness, we allowed people, even in the 1940s, in the 1960s, to take our ancestors' land. There are some people who really know the story of their grandfather's land being stolen from their family. Why did the family allow that? Because we've become so riddled with fear of some shit we never even went through, of some shit we never even experienced. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's gonna stop you from being a part of the better tax codes, the better tax benefits, because you know who gets taxed the highest? W-2 employees. Uh-huh. W-2 employees pays the most and the highest taxes. Be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at for how the tax codes are written. Be mad at yourself, because you can change that. You can change that. You can say, you know what? Let me read some. I'm a United States American, born here, 5, 6 generations born in this motherfucking country. Let me actually read the fucking Constitution. Let me actually read for myself the goddamn Bill of Rights. Let me read some of these motherfucking tax codes for myself in this fucking country that I've been born in, and all I know. This is all I know. I've never even been outside of this fucking country. But all I do is talk shit and whine and bitch and moan and complain. Let me see. And then from there, let me say, okay, if business owners, if people who produce, if people who create jobs, if the people who create housing get all the benefits and all the breaks, and all I do is spend money, all I do is belch, burp, eat, piss, and shit out my money. How about I start putting some money aside so that I can invest that money to become a producer, an employer, a landlord, so that I can get some of these motherfucking benefits and breaks and credits. Nobody's going to stop. How can I lower my expenses so that I can increase my profits from my W 2? How can I start looking at my W 2 employer as my first investor? They pay me every however often. How can I lower my expenses so that I can start putting this much money away, And let me calculate. If I put this much money away every pay period and forget about it, don't touch it. And then if once I get to this lump sum amount, I go and invest it into this thing right here, whether that be some product that you decide to buy, anything, anything, even drones. Even drones. Well, you say, well, what could I do with drones? If I had a drone company, what you can do with drones, you can advertise to uh, realtors, real estate people. You can start off doing it yourself, maybe, or hiring someone who already knows how to fly drones, but you specifically advertise yourself as you use your drones to take pictures of houses for sale in certain areas. Or you can use your drone to take pictures in crawl spaces and attics and basements and different things like that. Like people, there's a whole blue collar market that AI will never be able to replace. AI will never be able to replace people who work um, on attics, people who work in crawl spaces, people who work on the foundation of things that have to go into AI won't be able to replace blue collar jobs. And see, if you have drone companies, because weddings, I was hired as a makeup artist when I was in Arizona for a woman. She wasn't getting married. She was taking photos. She was pregnant. She was just taking some photos. And so she had a videographer who also he was a photographer and he worked drones. He did tour guide shit in Arizona. So while we were out there, he was taking some drone shots. And this was all what she paid for. Like, so if you, because it's still not drones, that market still is wide open. Wide open. It's not saturated at all. It is wide open. And there are plenty of drone manufacturers that you can look into. And this is something that I've actively been doing for the last 3 years. So I'm sharing an idea with you that I have because if if you and I both do it, it's not gonna. If you have a drone company and I have a drone company, we're not even gonna get in each other's way. You know what I mean? Like the country is so big and the market is so wide open. So this is why I don't even have a problem saying that. And you may come up with an idea that I haven't even mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Of how you can market your drones or what you can do with them. But I'm just saying that there's everything out there. And I've seen the drones. There was also a real estate guy. He was a photographer. I think he was a photographer or a videographer, and that's how he got on. And this was years ago, and it still isn't popped yet. You still don't see you see people playing with their drones, not in even big numbers, not in big numbers. But this guy was like, oh yeah, I'll go. I can send my drone over there and take pictures of the houses. You know what I mean? Some areas that are hard to get to by foot or something like you can send your drone there and still get the shot. Like the options are endless. The sky is not the limit. There is no limit. There's no limit, there's no box. So, this is what I hope for everyone who sees this in 2025. I hope you change your perspective, your point of view, and your relationship with money, with finances, with investing. Um, I hope that you become financially literate. I hope that you learn to love the idea of being a producer, of being someone who adds to the marketplace, being someone who wants to create something that will help other people, whether it's you decide, you want to run a company this way, or you want to create housing for this section of people. Even if you start with your own, like how Airbnb started, just in their own living room, of their own little apartment. Everything can be started with where you are right now. Everything, everything, no matter what it is, can be started with exactly where you are right now. But just be willing to be a producer and put something out there and something for the marketplace, because as a dependent, that's why W 2 workers get taxed the highest because they're looked at as dependents. Someone else got to feed you, somebody else got to clothe you, somebody else got to house you, somebody else got to put together a handbook, a list of do's and don'ts and job duties for you. That is a big responsibility. Somebody else has to carry insurance to cover you in case you get into an accident on their job, on their property. You know what I'm saying? Someone else has to carry all these different things because you are a liability. You are a replaceable liability. And until you decide, I want to be on that side, I want to be on the side of the sellers. I mean, we're all consumers, but to be 100% a consumer only, you're not a seller, you don't produce anything ever, you don't sell anything ever, you've never branded anything ever. That's We have to rethink that, especially considering we look around. I look around here in California and I see so many gas stations owned by Mexicans and fully worked by Mexicans. And then I just recall back in the 90s and the early 2000s when they was working their faces off. And I'm looking at black Americans, laugh at them, make fun of them, talk about them. They was packed like sardines into 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. I'm listening to black Americans talk shit about them, laugh at them, make fun of them. Now they own damn near every area that we live in. I'm looking at Korean, Vietnamese, Japanese, all these different whole strip malls. It's all in Japanese. It's only Japanese workers there. Korean centers. It's only Koreans. The sign is fucking in Korean. Not no English anywhere. All Korean. Chinatown. We've been here 5, 6, 7 generations. And we own less than we did 100 years ago. You know? I watched them pool their money. I watched them get paid and all put their money together multiple times over again. Get paid, all put their money together multiple times over again. Multiple times over again. All right, y'all, we got $100,000. Let's go get this. Boom. And then they all work on it to fix it up. They all work on it to get it to where they need to be. They all put in the labor to get it to where it needs to be. I look around, all the carpenter, all the landscapers here out here in Newport Beach, all these folks, HOAs, the HOA people, who work on all the land, all the landscape, Mexican dudes. And then they have they wife or sister or whoever be with them. Mhm. Mhm. I see it. I see it. Even the Filipinos, it's a Filipino market. Filipino market. The Filipinos just got here for real, for real. But they know what works in this country. And what works in this country is teamwork. Teamwork is what works in this country. That's what works around the world. It's not just in this country. But in this country where you can build wealth in the matter of a century, in the matter of 10 years, I mean, not a century, a decade, in a matter of 10 years with unity and at least one other person on your side where y'all working together with one another. In 10 years, you can change your whole life in 10 years. Just partnership, community, family. In 10 years, just being on the same accord, even with just one other person, it's going to be a hell of a lot. I mean, I'm here to tell you from experience, doing it by yourself, it's difficult because you can't keep up. Everything I've launched, I wasn't able to keep up. I wasn't able to keep up. Just doing it because I got to do it. I got to make it. Whether it was from, uh, even just with my lashes, right? With me just being me, I could only order so much. Whereas even if I had one other person, even just with one other person, you think it may just be a double. With one other person, we could have tripled how much we ordered. Not even doubled, tripled. Don't just, it's not math, it's multiplication. If me working with one other person, we could have tripled what I ordered singularly. So that means we would have had enough to order more before we even ran out of the first order. Whereas me by myself, I got to wait until all of these sell out before I'm able to rebuy again. So in that case, China was shut down. There was no shipping coming into America. So, it's multiplication. And this is how when I was cooking and selling African food and with my American flair in Arizona. It was just me. It was just me. So I got to cook the food. I got to clean up. I got to go shopping for the food. I got to do that early enough. I got to prep the food. I got to cook the food. I got to clean up. I got to package all the food. I got to stay here for those who are going to come pick up. And then I got to go and drive and do the deliveries. You see how slow of a process it is with my crochet. I got to make the shit myself, me, one person. So I'm saying, even if you have one other person that you can be on the same accord with, and y'all come up with an idea together, and y'all put in money together, even if y'all pool money for a period of time until you get to whatever amount. This is how we need to be thinking. And don't plant negative seeds in your mind of what if some bullshit. Just plant positive seeds of, and then deal with whatever comes when it comes. But don't make it come by thinking, because this is where our reality begins here. So if you constantly think some negative shit, yes, it's going to happen because it already happened here and you believed it so much and you dwelled on it so much that it had no choice but to come into the physical realm, because you are a creator. And everything that you create in the physical begins with your thoughts. And then you seal it with your words. But this here is creating it. So don't plant any negative seeds at all. Don't plant any negative seeds at all. Because as easily as you can think negative, you got to learn to be able to think positive just as easily and create these positive what if outcomes. You have to be able to create positive what if outcomes. What if this shit blow up and it get bigger than we thought it did? What if we're in business for 50 years? What if you got to plant these seeds, not what if that motherfucker's stealing? What if they rip me? What if what blah 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 blah. Well, what if your mom had a dick? It would be your dad. How about that? How about that? How about that for a what if? So let's just think, what if the shit works out better than you thought it would? You know what I'm saying? What if that? And then get it popping, because nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody in the government is going to stop you. Nobody. And there's so many benefits and um, credits to that we're able to take advantage of. If only we set ourselves up as a black female business owner, as a minority business owner, right? So that would include black men. Like, there's so many different benefits and different credits and different things that you can take advantage of. And in this day and age, there's so many different people that look like us that are teaching us the game of how to properly get your business set up, how to properly get your trust set up, how to properly, just get everything lined up to where you're paying the least amount of taxes legally, because all these things are in place for that reason. I mean, the way IKEA, IKEA hired a team of lawyers to set up and structure his business so fucking smoothly to where it's impenetrable. It's IKEA is impenetrable, and it will never be sold outside. IKEA is impenetrable. The descendants are not ever going to be broke, and it's rock solid. Like, there's so many layers. There's so many layers, and put in different. IKEA apparently is considered, I believe it's IKEA, the largest or one of the largest, what is it called, nonprofits, because the way it's set up. But it's its own nonprofit inside of a trust, inside of a foundation, and so, you know like, the structure is crazy. The fucking IKEA structure is crazy. So, um, you know, you just get with one other person, and if y'all are on the same accord, and y'all are willing to put y'all money together, the market is open. Alibaba is full of manufacturers in different places. The manufacturer I used for my clothing brand is was in Pakistan. I didn't. They actually found me. That manufacturer found me on Instagram, and I ordered some samples, and I really liked uh, what I got. I liked the product. I liked everything. And then right before Miss Pam died, I ordered I ordered 9 of my samples, and bam, there come my income. And see, even that, like, there's always, I've been through so many things where it's like I'm on this high, and then bam, something happens. But I never stop. I never stop. I never give up. And I'm never gonna quit. I'm never gonna quit. Nothing. I'm unbreakable. Nothing can make me give up. Nothing. Nothing can make me give up. Everything, everything. And I think on one of my other lives, went um I talked more about my tracksuits. I don't know, maybe I didn't, but yeah, that was with my clothing brand, but I didn't even stop there. It didn't stop there, and I was doing my best to hustle that brand, and it took me over a year. It took me over a year to sell three of my tracksuits. It took me more than 1 year, and this was promoting them daily. Like, I was creating videos, and I was displaying them. I did a video shoot. I was marketing them. I was creating different different ads, all kind of shit. All kind. I don't stop. I don't give up. I don't stop. I don't quit. I get knocked down. I get knocked on my face. I have to go back to the drawing board. I have to give myself pep talks, but I don't stop. I don't quit, and I don't give up at all. So, and it's just me. It's just me. And at some point, and I feel like at some point in this next phase of my life, in my 50s, it's something's gonna break, because I'm not going to. Something's gonna break. Something's going to break to where it's not just going to be me, and something's going to take off, and one of these ideas are going to be what hit the mark. And so I just got to keep going because the ideas are not ever going to stop. I'm an entrepreneur. The ideas are always going to come, you know? I just had, and it's not even my idea. I'm taking off somebody else's idea for this one. Like, you know what? I'm going to make that a journal. I'm going to make that a journal, but how can I elaborate on it? How can I put that in book form? So, that's what I hope for y'all. That's what I hope for whoever watched this replay, that you are inspired to be a producer, to add to the marketplace, even no matter what it is. If you want to work with children, no matter what it is, I hope that 2025 will inspire you to action, to be financially literate, to be more proactive in your financial life and in your life as being a producer. Something. You don't have to be a business owner to be a producer. You know what I mean? You don't have to consider yourself an entrepreneur to be a producer. You don't have to do any of that. Just do something that will set your future up and be more responsible for your own future, your own financial future, your family's future. Um, if you don't have a family, just your future, right? So that when you get to the point, whenever that is, of where you're not able to do the things you're able to do now, you did it now. Work now, make things happen now for when you're not able to. Set yourself up now. Start setting yourself up now for when you're not able to. Because how many more years does it have to be before we hear about these senior citizens who their social security is only $100 something a month? Miss Pam that I was taking care of, when she died, she had $11,000 left. She had a little over $11,000. And with what she was paying me, she wasn't going to survive with what she was paying me and what she owned her home, but you got to pay. She lived in the trailer home. So she had to pay $1,000 something a month for the little spot that she was on. And she was paying me $800 a week. That $11,000 was going to be gone, was going to be gone. And that's all she had. That's all she had. So, and she was only 69. She died right before she turned 70. So, and that is not uncommon. It is not uncommon at all. We hear about the senior citizens outliving their money regularly. This is a common occurrence in the United States of America, because when we're in these ages of where we can set ourselves up, we don't. We don't. We just want to think about right now. But you have to anticipate living another 30 or 40 years. Anticipate that. Because again, like I told my daughter, it's not when you 29, it's not what you do at 29 that you're paying for at 30. It's the dumbass decisions you're making right now while you're 21. And now that she's 32, she's paying for them dumbass decisions that she was making at 21, and the decisions that she didn't make, and every fucking thing that I told her that she ignored. She's paying for right now at 32, probably in disbelief that she's 32 years of age right now. Right now, 32. And have no plans to do any fucking thing. No plans. No plans at all. Don't know how the fuck this is gonna happen. Don't let that be you. Don't let it be you. And if nobody ever told you this whole, I just told you. I just gave you places you can go, even if it's just you and you have your W-2 job. You got to start looking at that as your first investor. That job is investing in you and whatever idea you have. If you don't have any ideas, get on Alibaba.com and just start looking at everything that you could possibly brand. Whatever may spark the first, no matter what it is, because that's what they there for. That's what they want Americans. They want Americans because every fucking thing is sold in this country. You can sell anything here. So all these overseas manufacturers, yes, they love when Americans contact them. They love it. And they see that American flag beside your profile. Oh, they're going to roll out the red carpet for you. And you start asking questions as if you want a brand. Oh, what's your MOQ? Oh, how much customization can I do? Can They're gonna roll out the red carpet for you because they want to get their products over here anyway. You know what I mean? And then you may start to see, oh, is this timber? Is this the Timberland boot manufacturer right here? Oh, okay. Is this? You're gonna start to see. You're gonna start to see. So Alibaba.com. It's free to register, free to set up an account, free to look. Don't cost none of that. Don't cost none of that. And different manufacturers have different minimum order quantities. You know what I mean? So do with that information what you will. Learn about finances, learn about how to manage your finances, learn about investing, learn about gold and silver and buying gold and silver, and just set yourself up for success. So anyway, that's all. Like I said, 2025 I will be launching my Twitch stream, but for the rest of this year I'm just going to be learning about it and continuing to get my stuff set up. So thanks for tuning in on this little quick impromptu Sunday live, and I'll holler at y'all later, and I'll see you in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and holler at your girl. Peace, y'all.